Welcome to this EWTN News live coverage of Pope Francis's apostolic journey to Sri Lanka and the Philippines. I'm Raymond Arroyo. In just a few moments, we will take you to Colombo, Sri Lanka, for the official welcoming ceremony of the Pope. Later in the day, the Holy Father will meet with the Catholic bishops on the island nation, as well as a courtesy visit with the President of Sri Lanka. This is the Pope's second trip to Asia in 6 months, following South Korea last August. Both Sri Lanka and the Philippines have suffered greatly in recent weeks due to heavy rain and floods. Flash floods and mudslides have killed 39 people and displaced over 1 million in Sri Lanka alone. So Pope Francis's customary message of mercy and compassion will have much resonance here today. Well, we're getting first video from Colombo, so we take you there now live for the welcoming ceremony of Pope Francis on day one of his visit to Sri Lanka.
And all the like activities. Dignitaries prepared to receive the Holy Father. The honor guard is already arrayed. And we are awaiting the opening of the doors. And the beginning of this Sri Lankan leg of the Holy Father's Asian visit that is taking him this time to both Sri Lanka and to the Philippines. The centerpiece of this visit to Sri Lanka is the canonization, 20 years almost to the day, of Blessed Joseph Vaz, 20 years almost to the day after his beatification by Pope St. John Paul II. It was on the 15th of January, 1995, and the canonization Mass will take place on the 14th of January 2015. Two days in total will the Holy Father spend in Sri Lanka, and the unfolding
Pope Paul VI came in the night hours
of the event will be
December
the welcome ceremony in which we are about to participate ourselves. And you can see that many of those traveling in the papal entourage, those of you joining us on television can see, and we are beginning to disembark, to make their way down onto the tarmac, down a special gangway that's been prepared in the rear of the aircraft. And the Holy Father will make his way down the special gangway that's been erected and placed for him, and onto the red carpet, and will be greeted and welcomed officially by the President and the honor guard. As is the custom when one head of state goes to visit another, after all. But I was saying about the four main events of the visit to Sri Lanka. Again, the welcome ceremony. There's going to be an interreligious meeting. Again, Holy Mass with the canonization of Blessed Joseph Vaz, and with a special Marian prayer finally at the sanctuary, the shrine of Our Lady of Madhu. And here is Pope Francis, made his way down the gangway and is being greeted by a pair of children, a boy and a girl, who have laid a garland of flowers around his neck. And now the Holy Father is greeted by the President of the Sri Lankan Republic, Maithripala Sirisena, and by the Cardinal Archbishop of Colombo, Malcolm Cardinal Ranjith, and other dignitaries, both civil and religious, were part of the official welcome delegation. And those of you joining us on television and through really any medium that, any platform that allows you to see the visuals that are being offered from the tarmac, will see also that the ecclesiastical dignitaries are wearing the white clerical garb, the cassock that is something akin, if you will, to the summer dress in the uniformed services. Worn in tropical climes and warmer climes, and in with a something of a missionary connotation. It's a familiar clerical garb. The beating of drums welcomes the Holy Father as well, and a traditional welcome dance. Is performed as the Holy Father makes his way down the red carpet, flanked by Cardinal Ranjith and by President Mithripaula Sirisena. For those of you just joining us, this is Vatican Radio's live English language coverage of the arrival ceremony at Colombo's International Airport, Colombo, Sri Lanka, where Pope Francis has just landed at the beginning of a week-long trip that is seeing him in both Sri Lanka and the Philippines. We've also been told to expect the Holy Father to speak throughout the course of this visit in his public engagements, at least in his official remarks, in English. And the execution of the national anthems of both the Holy See and the Sri Lankan Republic. the Holy Father, Pope Francis, after the execution of the hymns, now being welcomed by a 21-gun salute.
Your Holiness. Triforce's Guard of Honor comprises of colors, 4 officers, regimental mascot of Sri Lanka Light Infantry, and 96 other ranks. The parade is in order. May I have the honor to request your permission to carry on with the rest of the proceedings. Your Holiness.
The commander of the honor guard. Asking the permission of Pope Francis to carry on with the proceedings.
Samanapura! Paseka! Avi! Vividamada Samanapura! Sirve! Avi!
For those of you just joining us, this is Vatican Radio's live English language coverage of the arrival ceremony at the international airport in Colombo, Sri Lanka, where Pope Francis has just arrived at the beginning of a week-long visit to Sri Lanka and to the Philippines later in the week. We've had the official military honors offered to the Holy Father now at the beginning of the Sri Lankan leg of the visit, and we are awaiting.
We are here for you with open hearts to give our love away. We are glad that you have come to us with the peace of God inside. God has sent you to this blessed land to lead us in His way.
Holy Father, dear Pope Francis, welcome to Sri Lanka. Come bless the land of people, and so love with us you share. Benvenuto Santo Padre, welcome to Sri Lanka. Come bless the land of people, as God's love with us you share. We thank you for your ministry, your guidance and your care. God's greatest blessings for your life is our most humble prayer. Lord, bless our Holy Father, bless his mission along the way. For his precious caring heart embraces the human race. Garu baniti reta garu vela gala bum garu dia daman mage. Itulu kamajiva karana jaben vadenu nirantare. Sahadari vadanam savesinava iraturu obabuvaradune. Kananotele avasipayesha priyasana suvavuye. Sabayane Francis, imiani langasi apiyo bapiliganimu. Asiriganga radahava sistema de Ukrainayen urava. Sudu sabayane Francis, imiani langasi apiyo bapiliganimu. Asiriganga radahava sistema de Ukrainayen urava. Francis, welcome to Sri Lanka. Come bless our land, your people, as God's love with us you share. Benvenuto Santo Padre, welcome to Sri Lanka. Come bless our land, your people, as God's love with us you share.
And with this execution of this musical greeting, an official hymn of the visit, Welcome, Holy Father. This children's choir exits the stage. And we await the official words of greeting from the President and those of the Holy Father himself. Maithripala Sirisena, the president of Sri Lanka, just very, very recently took office. The presidential elections were held just last week, and he defeated in that election President Mahinda Rajapaksa, who had led the country through the end phase of the Civil War and into the efforts at peace and reconstruction beginning in 2009. And as I mentioned
Good morning,
earlier,
Your Holiness, Secretary of State and Member of
and here we are, the President.
Delegation, Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Cabinet Ministers, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a happy and joyful occasion to welcome Your Holiness on behalf of my government and the people of Sri Lanka. It is indeed significant that Your Holiness comments this apostolic journey to Asia with a visit to Sri Lanka. Your visit is also especially significant to me personally, as I have been elected to office of President of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka only a few days ago. The visit of Your Holiness gives me an opportunity to receive your blessings as I commence my term of office. Your Holiness, my government is promoting peace and friendship among our people after overcoming a cruel terrorism conflict. We are people who believe in religious tolerance and coexistence based on our centuries or religious heritage. I am extremely pleased that during this visit you will canonize Sri Lanka's first saint. Joseph was a Catholic missionary from India. He made a significant contributions to the growth of the Catholic faith in this country. Your Holiness, our two countries have played a significant role in fostering two of the world's major religions, Christianity and Buddhism. I look forward to further strengthening the bilateral relations that exist between Sri Lanka and the Holy See. On behalf of the government and the people of Sri Lanka, I wish you a most fruitful and memorable stay in our beautiful country. I seek the blessing of Your Holiness on the people of Sri Lanka and request your prayers for the peace, progress, and prosperity of our people. Thank you.
We were just listening to the official words of greeting from President Maithripala Sirisena of Sri Lanka, who is welcoming the Holy Father, Pope Francis, at Colombo's International Airport.
Mr. President, honorable government authorities, Your Eminence, Your Excellencies, dear friends, I thank you for your warm welcome. I have looked forward to this visit to Sri Lanka, and these days we will be spent together. Sri Lanka is known as the pearl of the Indian Ocean for its natural beauty. Even more importantly, this island is known for the warmth of its people and the rich diversity of their cultural and religious traditions. Mr. President, I extend to you my best wishes for your new responsibilities. I greet the distinguished members of the government and civil authorities who honor us by their presence. I'm especially grateful for the presence of the eminent religious leaders who play so important a role in the life of this country. And of course, I would like to express my appreciation to the faithful, the members of the choir, and the many people who helped make this visit possible. I thank you all from the heart for your kindness and hospitality. My visit to Sri Lanka is primarily pastoral. As a universal pastor of the Catholic Church, I have come to meet, encourage, and pray with the Catholic people of his island. A highlight of this visit will be the canonization of Blessed Joseph Vaz, whose example of Christian charity and respect for all people, regardless of ethnicity or religions, continues to inspire and teach us today. But my visit is also meant to express the Church's love and concern for all Sri Lankans, and to confirm the desire of the Catholic community to be an active participant in the life of this society. It is a continuing tragedy in our Lord that so many communities are at war with themselves. The inability to reconcile differences and disagreements, whether old or new, and giving rise to ethnic and religious tensions, frequently accompanied by outbreaks of violence. Sri Lanka, for many years, knew the horrors of civil strife and is now seeking to consolidate peace and to heal the scars of those years. It is no easy task to overcome the bitter legacy of injustices, hostility, and mistrust left by the conflict. It can only be done by overcoming evil by good and by cultivating those virtues which foster reconciliation, solidarity, and peace. The process of healing also needs to include the pursuit of truth, not for the sake of opening all wounds, but rather as necessary means of promoting justice, healing, and unity. Dear friends, I'm convinced that the followers of the various religious traditions have an essential role to play in the delicate process of reconciliation and rebuilding which is taking place in this country. For that process to succeed, all members of society must work together. All must have a voice. All must be free to express their concerns, their needs, their aspirations, and their fears. Most importantly, they must be prepared to accept one another, to respect legitimate diversities, and learn to live as one family. Whenever people listen to one another humbly and openly, their shared values and aspirations become all the more apparent. Diversity is no longer seen as a threat, but as a source of enrichment. The path to justice, reconciliation, and social harmony becomes all the more clearly seen. In this sense, the great work of rebuilding must embrace improving infrastructures and meeting material needs, but also, even more importantly, promoting human dignity, respect for human rights, and the full inclusion of each member of society. It is my hope that Sri Lanka's political, religious, and cultural leaders be measuring their every word and action by God in the healing it will bring, which make a lasting contribution to the material and spiritual progress of the Sri Lankan people. Mr. President, dear friends, I thank you once again for your welcome. May these days we spend together be days of friendship, dialogue, and solidarity. I invoke an abundance of God's blessing upon Sri Lanka, the pearl of the Indian Ocean, and I pray that its beauty may shine forth in the prosperity and peace for all its people.
And with these words, the Holy Father concludes his remarks at this welcome ceremony at Colombo's International Airport. The ceremony itself is, in its essence, concluded as well at this point, and the Holy Father will be making his way in his conveyance now to the Apostolic Nunciature in the city. There is an exchange of official presentations of the various members of the delegations, the presidential delegation, and the papal delegation, and the Holy Father will make his way to the nunciature. He'll be saying Mass in private there, and then he is going to head to the Archbishop's residence, and there he is going to meet with the bishops of Sri Lanka. There's a single archdiocese, the Archdiocese of Colombo in the island nation, and there are 10 suffragan dioceses connected in a single ecclesiastical province, again under the leadership, the direction of the Archbishop of Colombo. The Archdiocese of Colombo. That's going to be entirely a private affair. We will not be covering that event live. The Holy Father is going to have informal private conversations with the bishops who are going to be making individual presentations on what's doing in their dioceses. And then the Holy Father will have lunch with them. He'll head back then to the Archbishop's residence, where he'll be staying. Excuse me, to the nunciature. For a brief rest, and then later in the afternoon, about 4:45 local time, he'll head out again for the presidential residence, and he'll have a courtesy visit. He'll be making a courtesy call on the President of the Republic. Maithripala Sirisena, the President, greeted the Holy Father officially just this morning. And he took office following, very, very recently, following elections that took place just this past Thursday. That's Thursday of last week. Now the Holy Father, having made his way through the members of the delegation and greeting is now signing the official guest book. After his official welcome by the President, again, the Holy Father will be heading to the Nunciature, then later for a private visit and lunch with the bishops of Sri Lanka, and then on to the presidential palace for a courtesy call in the afternoon before heading to an interreligious meeting, a meeting with the representatives in Sri Lanka of the Buddhist, the Hindu, of the Muslim, as well as an ecumenical Christian representation. Be headed that last by the Anglican Bishop Dilaraj Kanakasabe later this afternoon, and by also taking part in that interreligious gathering will be a representative of the Buddhist monastic tradition, Vijitasiri Nyangoda Thero, the Holy Father. We expect to hear from him on that occasion, and we'll have live coverage of that event as well. It'll be taking place at 6:15 local time. That's 1:45 in the afternoon. Rome time. We're seeing if we're waiting to hear if we can get word on what official confirmation of the what the Holy Father did actually write, what the inscription in the
That concludes our coverage for now, but join us later today for continuing coverage of Pope Francis's visit to Sri Lanka. The Holy Father will have an ecumenical meeting with local religious leaders in Colombo. Visit EWTN.com for the latest schedule in your area. On behalf of the staff and crew of EWTN News, thank you for joining us. I'm Raymond Arroyo. We'll see you next time. Bye now.